it's time to start gluing. The glue I use is mostly this thing here. It's just Type-Bond original wood glue. I really like how that works. I also use CA glue, both thick and thin, and in a few cases I might use something like 30-minute epoxy. Now everything I need for the wing has been laid out here. There are of course the ribs here, and we have the spars. They're made out of some kind of spruce material, very strong and hard. There's the trailing edge and the leading edge, which has been formed, so I don't have to form it myself. This of course means that I can't just slap it on any way I like. I have to have it correctly oriented. Everything else for the wing is here, all the other parts, so they are within arm's length, and I can get them when I need them. Now, the first part of the instructions tell me to lay down the plan with the wing panel here, and then cover it with the polythene sheet, which I already have done. So the first part is ticked. Now I'll just follow the instructions, starting with pinning down a spar and the trailing edge, slapping on the ribs, and gluing everything in place. Here are all the ribs in place according to the instructions, except for of course ribs W1 and W2. Now the instructions tell me to glue together these two things here. This is supposed to be glued together, and then it will be placed here between the spars, and so in order for that to be possible, I have to remove a little bit of glue that is there, so that it won't interfere. I can also just test this down here and make sure that the rib is sitting correctly, like this. So now I will glue these two bits together. You can never have too many clamps. Right, here we are. The this W16 spar brace is supposed to be glued down here. Then the upper spar comes here, and then we take these two thin plywood pieces, W17, and glue them either side of this spar, this brace, and that completes step number 4. The next step is to add the sheeting here down into the wing. I've already prepared these two here. This one fits down here and is supposed to be glued here, and this one goes there. Then we add the ribs that have to go down here, both in front of and behind the spar, like this, and this makes the wing sort of complete with all the ribs on it. Then we put the leading edge and finish the sheeting here. When we put in this rib W1 down here, we have to use a jig called D1. But the strange thing is that D1 is shown on the plan as J1. There's a discrepancy in the naming of this part. So we have to be very careful to keep this, put this D1 on while we are fastening the rib. Now I have to fit the leading edge, and it has been formed for me so that I don't have to do it myself. But when they machined this out, there's a little edge both on top and on the bottom. It's very tiny, but if I don't take it away, it will mean that the leading edge is sitting a little bit too high. So I just take this little piece of wood with some sandpaper on it, and I give it a light sanding to get rid of this this ridge. The one on top can stay until we sand the entire wing. There. Now it's just going to sit where it should. Now I'm going to glue the front leading edge to the ribs, and to do that I have to hold it up to the rib and glue. And so the best thing is to use thin CA glue. Now I have to skin the middle part here on top, and to do that you get two of these very long balsa sheets, two of them, one for each wing, and you have to make up the skins like this. I had to cut this to size, glue some extra onto here and then cut it to size. Now I have fitted it so that it fits neatly in between here, between the leading edge and the spar. It's sitting on top of the ribs, and I have to be very careful. It has to butt up against rib W3 and not sit on top of it. Same with this one. Fits in there quite snugly up to rib W3, and now I'm going to have to glue this in and put some weights on to keep it there while the glue dries. While all of this is drying, the next step is to slide in this servo base W26, and that's this, and we have to be very careful to align it correctly so that the hole for the servo arm is in the right place, but we have to slide it underneath rib W4 and W3. And to do that, it's best to take the edge of the edge here. Just take it a little bit with some abrasive paper, but not a lot. You just want it to go easily underneath rib W3. So here goes. There, it's now disappeared underneath W4 and is snug underneath W3, and we can just glue it in with a little thin CA glue. The next step is to take all these webbings here and fit them between the ribs from W3 to W9. You get these balsa ribs, or webs, sorry, and they are cut all the same size, with the grain of the wood running up and down, like these webs should be. Sometimes you don't get that. Now, there may not be the right space between the ribs, so what you have to do is you have to fit them. Best thing is to have a piece of sandpaper on a stick like this, and then just sand it a little at a time, and then fit. It shouldn't take long, and just about there. There. This one is fitted. Now it should be placed such that it is touching both the ribs and both the top and bottom spars. Now the question is how to glue this. The best way is just to use thin CA glue. You place the webbing where it should be, run a bead of glue along the bottom and then close it up. Hold it a little bit and then run another bead along the top spar. Holding it for a few seconds makes it stuck. And then a drop in either corner. And your webbing is there to stay. Now for the other 7.